Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. Happy New Year, guys. I say Happy New Year until around January 13th, so just be prepared for a lot of Happy New Years from me. Happy New Year. How are you guys feeling about 2025? I've been talking about this year since the last year, or probably since 2023, but I'm very excited about this year, and I hope you guys are excited about this year as well. Please do not let my henna fingertips bother you guys or distract you. Of course, I brought it up, right? So now you're going to pay attention to it. But I tried to do henna on my fingertips because I think it's such a cute look. And it's only been a couple of days. And I feel like, it's basically off. So I'm just going to let it fade off. And it really doesn't bother me. So it is what it is. But we're going to be getting into some things that you want to be mindful of and how you need to sharpen your discernment, honey. How we need to sharpen our discernment so we can just be aware of what's going on and some things that we're going to be kind of like what we're going to be under attack of this year. That's what we're going to be talking about. What is going to be attacking us? What are we going to be up against, and how we can just sharpen our minds so we can really, step into this year and know what we're supposed to be stepping into and know what we're supposed to be thinking about and focusing on and not getting distracted. This is going to be a channeled message, and low key, every rant video that I do for you guys is a channeled message because I don't have any notes or anything. I'm just going off of what God puts on my heart for me to bring to you guys. So it basically is a channeled message. So that's what we're going to be talking about. If you guys want to book sessions with me, connect with me, follow the pages down below, the marketing firm, and Faded Counsel. You can check down below in the description box for all of the links where you can book with me, get the self-led tarot course, get a releasing session, book a 3-question reading, whatever you want to get into, you'll always be able to see it. I also offer oracle readings most days, and you guys can always check out the community tab to see what readings I'm offering and what I have going on, because I'm always posting on there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Again, I hope you guys have been feeling great and feeling good. Let's go ahead and talk about the things that we need to be aware of as we step into 2025. Okay, so I think the biggest thing or the overarching message is just be careful of who and what you allow to preach to you this year. You want to be careful of who you believe, of who you're following, of who you're letting influence you. This is definitely going to be a year of getting control of your mind. So if you've been battling a lot of anxiety, depression, dark thoughts, you feel like you trying to fight, the thoughts in your head, and, you want to decide how you think. You want to decide how you feel. You don't want to let these thoughts make the decisions for you. You want to be able to separate yourself from that, that dark energy in your mind and think for yourself and walk as yourself and decide who you want to be, instead of letting these energies just take over you, when you consistently go back to that. So this is time to stand up to yourself. This is time to set boundaries with yourself. And it's time to really check yourself and be like, girl, what am I believing? What am I putting my faith in? What am I, trusting in? What am I, feeling like, has to work for me? What am I looking for? What am I looking towards? This really is a time to be mindful of where you're going, of where you're headed, of, what you're intaking and what you're, swallowing up, what you're digesting, what you're taking from what you're looking at everywhere. And we always have to be mindful of who, pours into us and who we read and stuff like that. But a lot of us really have to check ourselves and just really be mindful of the issues that we have in our lives and where we're kind of allowing those energies around us willy-nilly. It's definitely going to be time, like I mentioned, to set boundaries on yourself, to ask yourself, why do I keep looking at this if it makes me feel some type of way? Why am I just blindly supporting this? Why is this okay? Why do I, feel defensive when this gets brought up? Why do I feel like people can't tell me about this? Why do I feel triggered by this? Why do I feel ashamed about this? Why do I feel guilty about this? You should have really been confronting yourself last year and, just realizing your issues, your flaws, your problems, the things that you want to work on, the things that you want to maybe release and let go of, like you should have been able to see those things and work to uncover those things last year. And I feel like now we're in a space where it's like, okay, now you know what your weaknesses are. Now you know how, temptation and doubt and fears and all of the things that you need to stay away from, unhealthy attachments and addictions and codependencies, all of those things, what makes you attract those things? What gets you connected to those things? What makes you fall victim to that type of stuff? Like we've been able to really see, why we step into those spaces, and we've been able to see what we can do about it. We've been able to see how we can walk away from those spaces or remove ourselves from something or separate ourselves from something. And we can see how that makes us feel, and if we've chosen to go back to a space that we were already delivered from, if we've chosen to say, yes, I know how to do this, but I just don't feel like doing this right now, then that's going to be on us, because I don't think that this is a year where you can let yourself do the things that you don't really want to do. This is definitely a year of like no cheat days. And I don't mean, like literally no cheat days, but if you're looking at life as like, a fitness journey, this will be a year of no cheat days. This will be like the year, like when your birthday is in 30 days and you're going to Puerto Rico and you really need to be snatched from Puerto Rico. So you're like, you know what? No cheat days for these 30 days before I go. I'm going to really go hard in the gym, hard on my, my meal plan and everything before I go out. That's literally how this year is. Like there's really no days off. So what that means is no settling, no, oh, I'll just do this one time, or oh, I'll just do this one time, or oh, this is okay, and that's not to say that everybody should be trying to do one thing, because all of our goals are different, but you know what you want, and you know what you don't want. You know when you're wasting your time, when you're putting your faith in something that's bogus, when you're allowing something that you don't agree with or don't support to, influence you, when you're allowing somebody that doesn't need to be around you to be around you, when you're doing that, when you're stepping into that, what that feels like. So now is the time to act on those things and do something about it. Now is the time to not ignore what we've been feeling and experiencing. It's the time to say, okay, I'm going to do something the next time this pops up. And what does that doing something look like? How can we be, serious about who we want to be? What are we willing to do? What are we willing to do? Are we willing to block certain people? Are we willing to limit how much we talk to certain people? Are we willing to limit how much we share? Are we willing to, do things that totally change where we're going or what we're thinking or what we're feeling? Are we willing to make the big changes? Because this is definitely going to be a year of big changes. It's going to be a year of leaps of faith. It's going to be a year of just pulling up your bootstraps and just jumping and saying, I trust it. We're going to see, and that's a scary thing to do. It's a scary thing to say, I trust it. We going to see. But that's the space that we're in. We really have to just have faith. But if you have those strict boundaries with yourself, you can trust it because you know that you have what it takes to pick yourself back up. A lot of us can't fully release the stuff that's toxic to us because we don't feel whole enough within ourselves yet. And until you really are by yourself with none of those vices, because all of those things are vices, they distract you from feeling your pain. And that, kind of sucks, but you should have low-key been feeling your pain last year. I think I felt my pain more than anybody. I literally had to get on antidepressants. So, you really should have been feeling your pain last year. If you really, really went through it last year, you low-key were right where you were supposed to be. And that is very, very hard to say and very, very hard to accept. It's not me. It's the Lord. This is a channeled message. So everything I say, don't take it up with me. When you pray tonight, say, God, why did I have to go through that? Why was my 2024 like that? Don't ask me. I don't know. But we should definitely be looking at ourselves differently this year. We should be just recognizing what we're capable of and recognizing how strong we are and recognizing that we can do strong things. When we are in spaces where we can do the hard thing, but it's easy for us to do what's comfortable, and we backpedal and we put aside what we've learned and we put aside our new boundaries and we put aside, oh, I'm not going to do this. We put aside all of that to do what's comfortable, and then we wonder why we can never excel, why we can never have more, why we can never have any more opportunities, why we feel like we're stagnant and we're stuck. A lot of people feel really stagnant and really stuck right now, and this is going to be your year to break free of that. But you need to already be in a mindset of, breaking free from that stuff and really being serious. This is going to be a year. A lot of y'all have to go no contact with people. A lot of people, we've already been seeing people going sober. It's not a coincidence that a lot of people are going sober right now, that a lot of people are getting divorces. A lot of people are separating and splitting up. And, whatever that looks like, it's not necessarily about being alone, because we do have a lot of people that are coming together. We do have a lot of great communities that are forming, but people are kind of, getting paired up. This is the time to kind of bunker down with where you're going to be surviving and who you're going to be surviving with. And if the certain people that you have around you, you can't survive with them. They can't give you what you need to carry you over that threshold into this new beginning, because you're going to be surviving. I didn't get through 2024 I survived 2024, honey. That was the longest year I probably have ever had since I was a child, girl. That year was longer than 6th grade. That year was a long year. Last year was very, very long. And it was, it was great. I feel great about it now. But last year was a long, hard year for me. It was a really, 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 really long, hard year. And, through that long, hard year, I had no choice, I felt, but to look myself in the mirror, and really face myself and face all of my problems and all of my issues and everything I could be doing better and everything that I need to ease up on and what I'm paying too much attention to and what I'm not paying enough attention to. I've just had to learn and relearn literally every season, every month, every day was something different. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, and I think now is the time to put all of those things in practice. And we really want to make sure that we're not running from the discomfort. Because that's what's going to cause us to go back to that old stuff, because we just want to feel good. And we need to recognize, if we don't know by now, then we need to get with it. You know what I'm saying? That feeling good is not always the best thing for us, because we're not all spirit. We're human as well. We're flesh. We're flawed. So there's a lot of things that are terrible for us that feel so absolutely amazing. A lot of things that we should never, ever, ever do feel absolutely incredible to our flesh. It feels fantastic to our human body, but it isn't good for our mind. It's not good for our spirit. It's not good, for the chemistry of our body. It's not good for our soul. It's not good for our memories. It's not good for our triggers. It's not good for our subconscious. We're telling ourselves so many things when we accept or step into something that we know we shouldn't be accepting. We really send a message to ourselves that we should be tolerating or settling or accepting, something that we shouldn't. And we kind of coach ourselves to believe that and trust that and have faith in that. And then we end up questioning, well, why am I accepting this from this person? These people don't really love me like that. This job doesn't really appreciate me like that. Like, why am I accepting that? Why is that enough for me? And it's because we've accepted those things in other spaces. So it's unavoidable, I feel like for me, 2024, I couldn't run away from my problems. They were chasing me. If I tried to run away from my problems or not recognize them, I would meet somebody that would bring them to my front door, and that's definitely what I feel we've all been experiencing. So a lot of the bad relationships that you have and the stuff that really has tested you and really, really, really tested you to see, are you as good as you say you are? Have you really been doing the work? Like, I feel like we really, really got tested last year. And, everything that was testing you was preparing you to be in a space where you can get tested again and you won't be shook up. It's preparing you to be stronger than ever, to feel like you have more power than ever, more control than ever over your life, over where you are, over how you're thinking, over how you're feeling. So, the point of power is now. That's always a quote that I feel like I say, and that's such a powerful message, but the point of power really is now. So we want to not take anything that we're doing lightly. And I feel like I've been saying that for a minute, that nothing is happening by accident, but you're not doing nothing by accident either. If you letting certain stuff happen that you said you wasn't going to let happen, if you went no contact, but you went back on it, if you said you was going to do this, but you changed your mind, if you let fear make you stop, whatever the case may be, however you've been outrunning, what you've been needing to catch up with, or whatever it's looked like for you on your journey and where you are, this is really a time to do something about it. This is really a time to be intentional about, what you're wanting from, and finally face it, and it might not be something that you end up, being able to never run from again, because our fears are our fears. There's certain fears that we can face, and there's certain things that may always make us uncomfortable, because we're humans, and I don't know if we'll ever be always comfortable with the things that hurt us. There's always going to be parts of us that don't want to feel that, don't want to think that, don't want to accept certain truths and realities about life. But, trusting your discernment means that. Trusting your intuition means that. And I think there's a part of us that knows, if I start trusting my intuition and my discernment, if I start listening to this voice, I'm not going to be able to be delusional anymore. I'm not going to be able to be stupid anymore. The veil will be lifted from my eyes. Ignorance is bliss, not knowledge, not wisdom, not seeing everything and knowing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing everything and knowing everything, being enlightened, being aware, it's much, much, much more difficult and strenuous to live life when you have a conscience, and every step you make, if it's right or wrong, and if you've done the right or wrong thing. And if you've done the wrong thing, why you've done the wrong thing. And until you address it, why you've done it and what you've done is replaying in your mind over and over and over and over again. And if that's you, and because of that you deal with a lot of shame and a lot of guilt, and you don't want to take risks because you don't want to make the mistakes again, and you don't want to add something else to the list of stuff that you're beating yourself up about, address that shit. Address it. Ask yourself why you're beating yourself up because you're making these mistakes, because that's going to be why you're letting certain things influence you. That's why you're going to be being led by things that you shouldn't be led by. Because I think when we let people influence us, we feel like we need to be influenced. We feel like we are not enough. We feel like there's something within us that needs to be changed or tweaked because what somebody else is doing is better. So if we bring that into our lives will be better because maybe they know what's better for us than we do. And there are some people that do know what's better for us than we do if they've been trained in certain ways, if they're experts in certain fields or whatever. We can always get advice from people and learn different things from people that we connect with. But we take that and then we apply it back to ourselves. We take all of those things and then we instill it back into ourselves and we work on ourselves diligently every day. When we want to break the no contact, we work on ourselves. When we want to, answer the phone for this person or go back to doing what we said we weren't going to do or break the string of good habits, when we don't want to do the good things for us, when we want to believe the bad thoughts, when we want to just let the string of bad thoughts, go on, we have to address that. We can't just push it down and try to distract ourselves by, feeling this or feeling this or feeling this. We have to address what we're running from. And if you haven't addressed what you're running from, then you are going to be in a pickle this year. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. You're going to be in a pickle. You're going to be in a pickle, girlfriend. You're going to be in a pickle. Because, this is going to be your time to beat it. And if you've been aware of what your Achilles heel is, then great, because it's going to be used against you. And now you know how to fix it. Now you know how to move around it. Not fix it, because you can't fix where your weakness is. Your weakness is going to be your weakness, but it's about knowing how to maneuver when you are attacked in that area. It's about, not letting that break you down. Like maybe once upon a time it was breaking you down, but now you've been taking the anti-venom. You've been getting stung, so much over a certain period of time. So now if it stings you, you'll be able to survive the attack. That's literally what we should have been doing last year. If you've been being strong and being strong and being strong and being strong, you are building up your spiritual immunity, your emotional immunity, your mental immunity. So if you have to hold this shit up by yourself with no support, with nobody believing in you, with nobody motivating you, with nothing, you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to give yourself what you need. You'll be able to wrap your arms around yourself. You'll be able to speak those words of wisdom to yourself. You won't falter. You won't fall apart. You won't go back to what you used to be doing. You'll be able to stand strong and, recognize what you've already been battling and what you've already done. And I think that when you're present in your grief and in your anger and in your frustration and in your jealousy and in your confusion and your rage, when you're present in it, it just lets you, it's kind of like you get acquainted with that part of yourself. And instead of running from that part of yourself, you get to understand, oh, this is my anger. This is what jealousy looks like for me. This is what being lost looks like for me. This is what hopelessness looks like. This is what it looks like when I'm disappointed in myself. This is what it looks like when, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling this, and that kind of, I don't know, maybe this is just how my brain works, but no matter how bad I'm feeling, I can always go to the source in my mind and be like, let me describe what I'm feeling right now. And that's low-key what we need to do, even if you have to wait until after you have your episode, after you cry, after you have your bad day, and you have to say, okay, what triggered me yesterday and what did I feel? Did I feel hopeless? Did I feel shame? Did I feel like, like I'm a failure? Did I feel like I missed my chance? What did I feel? And, where else am I feeling that in my life? And why was it so easy for me to believe that stuff? What made me believe that automatically? What was that? What was that? And what can I do about that? And how can I make sure that the next time I'm feeling that, I can give myself what I need in that moment? What do I need in that moment? I think this season is really about just knowing what you need and having discernment about your needs and not thinking about, what your spirit wants or what your body wants, rather, because there are parts of our spirit that want things that are not good for us. Codependency isn't a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. These unhealthy attachments that we have to people is a spiritual thing. You might have an unhealthy attachment to somebody that you saw one time, or, somebody that you fantasize about that you want, somebody that you haven't seen in years. You may have a strong hold to them. So there's a lot of spiritual attachments that we end up having as well. And I think that, all of those connections, everything that's stemming from you is going to be challenged, this year. And this is a year 9, so this is a year of wish fulfillment and a lot of great things happening. So there's going to be a lot of beautiful things happening this year. This is going to be a great year to have a baby. If you're trying to get pregnant, this is going to be a great year to buy a house. This is going to be a great year to get married. This is going to be a great year to, start your business. It's going to be a great year to, see yourself hit those money goals that you want. If you want to reach like 6 figures, 7 figures, it'll be a good year for you to do that. This will be a good year to meet your goals. But please believe and please know every goal that you meet is going to come with its own set of challenges. You get married, guess what? Now you got married people challenges. You have a baby, guess what? Now you got the bad day of a parent, not the bad day of somebody that don't got no kids. You want this, guess what? Now you're going to have these issues. So we're going to be blessed. We're going to get the desires of our heart. We're going to have these wishes be fulfilled. It's going to be up to a few things. One, have you been doing the work to handle these wishes, or are you just going to squander them? Are they going to fall directly out of your hands, or are you going to be like, oh, I'm not ready for this, and then start feeling more shameful and more guilt and keep, numbing yourself even more? Because it's hard enough to feel shame and guilt when you know you're running from it. It's even harder when you're making mistakes still in the present moment. And that's what some of us are going to do. Some of us are not going to learn. Some of us haven't learned yet about when to say no and when to set your boundary and when to protect yourself. And this year, you're going to be real sick and tired. If you wasn't sick and tired last year and made some big changes, you're going to be sick and tired this year. So hey, I hope y'all made some big changes last year. I hope y'all got sick and tired. And if you didn't, I hope you do it before March. Get it out your system before March. I feel like this message is going all over the place. But overall, you want to be in control of what influences you, and you really don't want to let anything but God's plan for you be your guide this year. Most people that I work with, they always tell me that they just felt led to my videos, or God told them to book with me, or they asked to see, like, I want to book with somebody, but I'm not sure who, and they saw my videos and loved my energy and it was perfect. Almost every person I would say that I've worked with, they always, tell me how they found me, or, tell me why they love what I do. And that's what makes me really happy about what I do, because, this work is my life's work, like sharing the things that I go through for you guys and with you guys, being honest and transparent about what I'm experiencing so we can all heal together and grow together, connecting with you guys one-on-one, those of you that I'm able to connect with one-on-one, like those are the things that, keep me going and fuel me and make me feel good. And I want to continue to attract the right people and connect with the right people. And I said all that to say that's where you should be stepping into, in this year. Everything that you connect to should be like, da-da-da-da. It should be perfect. It should be seamless, and not perfect in the sense of no issues, but it should be seamless in the sense of this is the perfect fit for me. This fits me. All of those things in your life that you've been battling and pulling against in a tug of war, this is not the time to try to resuscitate those things and keep them in your life. This is the time to really be serious when you say, you know what, I'm done with this. This is the time to put your foot down and keep it down. Put your foot down and keep it down. This is not the time to put your foot down and be like, no. This is time to really be serious about it. And if you're not serious about it, then you got to ask yourself, why don't I think I deserve more? Why do I think I'm worthy of this? Why do I think that my dreams aren't worth me doing whatever it is that it takes? And I think that you only have this life once. Every day you've wasted so many days already. I've wasted so many days. As humans, we waste more time than we have. But you can choose any time to say, you know what? I'm going to make every day from here on out count, no matter what that means. No matter if I laugh, if I smile, if I cry, whatever, I'm going to be present in my days. I'm going to be intentional in my days. I'm going to just be mindful of what I consume, be mindful of what I believe in, be mindful of who I follow and who I trust. I'm going to be mindful of what triggers me and mindful of how I feel, and I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to let the thoughts get to me. I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to finally stand up. I'm going to finally choose to empower the part of me that wants to be empowered. I'm going to do something with the weakest part of me, with the part of me that's the most damaged, with the part of me that's in the most pain. I'm going to do something about that and not just leave that there. And what can you do about that? Write and burn it. Write. Do some releasing rituals. Write about stuff that's hurting you. Write about stuff that you're carrying the most and burn it. Get you some vitamin D, get you some B12, get you some ashwagandha. Look up vitamins and supplements that you can take for mood stability, for insomnia, for your appetite, for your mental health, for your energy levels. Do things that make you feel good. Go outside, walk in nature, make sure you're eating good food, make sure you're getting adequate rest, make sure you're watching stuff that makes you laugh and puts a smile on your face. Be mindful of what you're looking at on social media. Really edit what you're looking at and be mindful of your feed, so you're curating a feed that makes you feel good and makes you, smile and makes you have faith in where you're going. It's up to you to change everything that you're seeing so you can change your reality. It's kind of like when people move off grid and they're in paradise, honey, they don't know what done happened, who done passed away, who done been born, who done got a Grammy, who done lost a Grammy, who done been to jail, who done this. They don't know what done happened. They living by themselves, making their own rice and making their own eggs and doing their own this and doing their own that and living La Vida Loca, and we going through it. And they're like, what's going on? It's all right with me. Because that's their reality. They've built a little world around themselves. No matter where you live, you can have a bubble of happiness around you. A bubble of happiness, a bubble of joy, a bubble of all the things that make you feel good and make you feel secure and make you feel strong, and sure of yourself. You can do that. You don't have to have anything in your life that makes you doubt yourself, that makes you fear, that makes you not trust yourself. Because guess what? You're going to not trust yourself anyway. You're going to have days when you're afraid anyway. You might as well do it in a space that you love, at a job that you love, with a partner that you love, with friends that you can love and trust. Loving yourself and trusting yourself. It makes no sense to make yourself struggle by doing stuff that you know you're not supposed to do when you know you're going to struggle anyway. You know you're going to struggle anyway. So be in a space where you struggle for things that are worth fighting for. Struggle for things that are worth fighting for, and struggle with people that are going to struggle with you and meet you halfway. So it's not a struggle that you're doing. When you're struggling with somebody, it doesn't feel like a struggle. It feels like y'all just hustling together to make something beautiful. Even if y'all are struggling to communicate, but y'all are both trying together. It's all about having people that are just as serious about being better and doing better as you. So this is definitely a year to change how we interact with people, to change how we interact with ourselves, and just be mindful of where we're going and, everything that we want to get out of this year. And this is a year to listen and trust your discernment, okay? Do not let the delulu fool you. I know we think that sometimes it could be the best course of action to just be delulu and be crazy, but it's really not the best course of action. You want to be able to know what's happening. You want to be able to see it coming. So make sure that you're not being delulu. This is a year to be mindful of what you want, because you're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get the opportunities to get what you want. And if you're not ready, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I would have did what I was supposed to do. So you want to make sure that you take this time to do it. Remember, the new year hasn't started yet. Okay, so don't think that you're too late to the party. Take the time to do it. Do a lot of releasing work. Get in nature. Get on some supplements. Get on some prayer. Get on some meditation. Connect with some people that are just as serious about healing and being better as you. Get in some Facebook groups. Get on Bumble. Meet some people in your area. You know what I'm saying? Get on Meetup. Get out of the house. Get out of the house. Challenge yourself to do some things that are different. Get out of your comfort zone. If you need to see a therapist, see a therapist. Whatever you need to do, start pouring into you, and no more distractions. No more distractions. Face whatever life is bringing you head on and do something about it and get through it. And gain up that strength, gain up that resistance, so you're able to do what you need to do and maintain the things that are coming your way this year. So yes, guys, that message was all over the place, but that's what we need to be mindful of: sharpening our discernment, strengthening our intuition, and being mindful what influences us, the type of mindset that we need to have stepping into 2025. I love you guys. As always, if you guys want to book sessions with me, connect with me, follow me on Instagram, stay up to date with everything, check down below in the description box. I love you guys. Let me know how you feel about this video down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Bless.